Hi everyone, welcome back to the Daytona office hours. As always, we will go over the latest updates in our open source project. So let's take a look at the commit history, starting off where we left off last Wednesday and the previous office hours. First, we have a fix from our colleague Luca. He made some changes to the runner application so that we had some issues with the following error message where when we were trying to stop or remove the sandbox, the runner did not receive an exit event. So this fix should resolve the issue now. Next, we have a refactor regarding our locking mechanism for syncing sandbox states. So this refactor from Vedran ensures that the sandbox states are now properly maintained throughout the sync workflow, preventing some false error states that were being set on otherwise healthy sandboxes. So you maybe encountered this exact same issue where it said that a sandbox was not in a valid state to be stopped because it was starting. So this was due to an invalid transient state that was being set on the sandbox. And this PR should now resolve the issue altogether. Next, we have a PR from our colleague Toma, who did some changes on our proxy application. So now when you are previewing a sandbox, this will update the last activity timestamp on that sandbox, which is very important if you're relying on automated lifecycle management for maintaining your sandboxes. So as you know, for example, if you set an auto stop interval on a sandbox, if the sandbox is inactive for example, more than 15 minutes, if you set it to that, it will go into stop state automatically. But users were stating that they also wanted a sandbox preview to trigger a reset for that auto stop timer, and now this PR from Toma has done just that. Moving on. We have a simple fix from our colleague Ivan, who just properly initialized the logger in our sandbox actions. Next, also another smaller fix where we were seeing some no available runners messages due to an incorrect query in our service. Okay, moving on with the next PR. Another one by Vedran. So he fixed an invalid condition for syncing the instance state that was causing one extra cycle on an already reconciled instance. He has added extra validation logic that produces warning logs and stops the cycle if it is encountered. Moving on. We have a kind of a cleanup PR from our colleague Goran, who updated and aligned Nest.js dependencies and also did some refactoring to our exception interceptors. So this is basically a quality of life PR that will make it easier for our contributors to debug the service. Next, also a PR from Goran, who optimized querying audit logs. So as you can see here in his description, he added a regular ID field to index mappings to enable memory efficient sorting and filtering. Previously, we were using OpenSearch's ID metadata field, which was inefficient, as he explains it here. Now we should be good to go. Okay, moving on. We had another PR regarding the sandbox syncing mechanism. As you can see, we've done a bit of refactoring on this week to make it as smooth as possible. Specifically, this PR fixed a issue that was setting an invalid sandbox state if a reconciling action was lasting longer than the lock interval. So, for example, if there was a user action to stop a sandbox, and if that underlying request towards the runner where the sandbox is living lasted more than the then the time to live value set on the lock. And if there was another action coming afterwards that reconciled the state, that original one would try to set the sandbox state to an invalid value, which would then cause the sandbox to error, even though the sandbox was actually healthy. So he introduced lock codes that are passed to these actions in the state reconciling mechanism, which compare the expected lock code for the update action with the actual current one, and if they don't match, the update for the sandbox is rejected. Also, there was a small fix from Ivan regarding the mechanism where runners update the sandbox state to the accurate corresponding state that can actually be found on the runner or the sandbox itself. There was an regression introduced by a previous PR with an invalid condition. He has now resolved this. And finally, we have a PR regarding archiving for sandboxes. So as you probably know, we always allow sandboxes that are in archiving states to be started normally, but when we were refactoring some locking mechanisms, we introduced an issue where the sandbox could not have been started if it was already archiving. This PR is intending to fix it, and that should be it. That has been all for today's office hours. If you have any follow-up questions, reach out to us on Slack or Twitter. Again, thank you for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.